I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, today we're reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 28. Let's focus on verses 23 through 29. Listen and hear my voice. Pay attention and hear my words. Does the farmer plow continually to plant seed? Does he continually turn and break up his ground? Does he not level its surface and sow dill and scatter cumin and plant wheat in rows, barley in its place and rye within its area? For his God instructs and teaches him properly. For dill is not threshed with the threshing sledge, nor is the cart wheel driven over the cumin, but dill is beaten out with a rod and cumin with a club. Grain for bread is crushed. Indeed, he does not continue to thresh it forever, because the wheel of his cart and his horse eventually damage it. He does not thresh it longer. This also comes from the Lord of armies, who has made his counsel wonderful and his wisdom great. So today's chapter ends on a more promising note. A farmer doesn't keep on plowing indefinitely. He sows in order to reap. Now, has God been turning your soil lately? Does it feel like, man, you're running the plow through my life? You're digging up all the hardness. Well, perhaps he's been mixing in a bit of manure to boot. Just know that God is preparing you as a farmer prepares the land to yield a bountiful crop of spiritual fruit. Now, spiritual discipline is what this entire chapter has been about. Those who see the Father's hand in it will profit. Yes, it involves hardship. You can't engineer hardship out of it. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 7, endure suffering as discipline. God is dealing with you as sons. For what son is there that a father does not discipline? Not talking about that doesn't spank his kids. Hey man, if you love your kids, you'll teach them the disciplines of things like get up and make your bed, put your clothes on, clean your room, help the other people in your house. You're part of a community. Those are disciplines. You know, it's also unpleasant and painful. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11, no discipline seems enjoyable at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it yields the fruit of peace and righteousness to those who have been trained by it. God's discipline is revealed in a variety of ways. Just like a farmer who plows and sows, but he plows and sows for different crops, and he does it all differently. The Lord deals differently with each particular child in order to produce a unique harvest of grace. So he may discipline us through the reading of his word. He has been known to use sickness to discipline people. Sometimes he even uses Satan himself. Now, Paul called the thorn in his flesh a messenger of Satan. And after all, that is the lesson of the book of Job. That even if Satan came at you, that his coming at you is limited by the power and authority of the Lord. And that ultimately anything that the Lord unleashes upon you is for the glory of the Lord. And that can be evident through your obedience, despite opposition at the highest level. To those who have eyes to see, there is a smiling face below the surface of what seems to be a frowning God. And our lives, even when under discipline, are ordered by the holy God, who is wonderful in counselor and who gives great wisdom. God is preparing us. He is teaching us to faithfully endure even painful situations and to trust in Him through the whole thing, so that when we can stand firm and we can boldly speak forth the gospel, even at times when others are being crushed by the weight of this world. So endure His training. Nobody trusts a poorly trained, out-of-shape soldier when he says, I got your back. Nor do they heed the rhetoric of the undisciplined Christian. James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. Consider it great joy, my brothers, when you experience various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. But let endurance do its perfect work, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people just like you. And yes, we do need your monthly support. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. Another way to help is just tell people about us. Say, hey, have you ever heard of Groundworks Ministries? You can share these podcasts with friends and family, and you can share them on your social media. And of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.